So again, before I start, right? So good evening, everyone. I'll also just start the recording, right? Okay, very good, very good. So let's start, guys. Good evening, everyone. Hope you guys all are doing good, right? And now we are again going to start our lecture on Python, right? So we are going to understand everything in detail again, right? So let's start with today's lecture. But before starting, again we will start with the same thing, right? I will first share my screen. So let me share my screen and then uh, we will start. So just a second, guys. So let me know once the screen is visible. Mhm. Is my screen visible, guys? Everyone, quickly, just let me know. Yes or no? Is my screen visible? Very good, very good. So, guys, let's start. So, we are going to again have a lot of fun today. Uh, so, I'll just also, uh, join with some other device so that I can look. Mhm. Okay, guys. So let's start now. Let's start now. We have uh, everything set up done, and I'm already visible, I guess. Okay, so let's start, guys. Let's start. So what we have seen till now. So I'll just start with the last class discussion, and then we will move slowly, right? So let's start with the last class discussion. What we have seen so far, and then we are going to see a lot of things. So till now, what we have seen here till now. So I will start with that discussion first. So if you guys remember, in the last class, we started with, let's say till now. In the last class, we started with iterators, right? Iterators. We saw a lot of questions based on iterators. Then we started with generators. And then also we saw introduction to OOPS. Little bit basic concept, that is introduction to OOPS. Everyone agrees to this? Yes or no? Quickly. Everyone agrees to this or not? Right. So a little bit of introduction we had seen. I'm not saying that we have seen a lot of things, but little bit of introduction. We understood what is a template, what is a class, what is an object. That's it. That's it, and nothing else. Not any bigger complex topic that we have seen till now. But today we target to see a lot of in-depth topics. So we are going to see a lot of things. I will also write the agenda, so don't worry about that. But this is something that we have seen till now. After that, also we have seen the interview questions based on this particular iterators, generators, and introduction to OOPS concept. Now, moving ahead, what would be the agenda of today's lecture? So, what are we going to look at today's lecture? So, in today's lecture, we are going to start with very important, right? That is more question on OOPS. So we are going to solve a lot of many question on OOPS. So if you guys remember, yesterday I had told you one thing, that in OOPS what happens, people know about the concepts but don't know how to apply. What is the necessity of OOPS? People are not aware about that. And that's why I am planning to have a lot of mini projects in OOPS now itself. If I wait that, okay, I will complete the Python and then go for the mini project, then it will take a, then it might be a problematic thing, to be very honest. Everyone agrees to this, that here itself, we should target to have some basic mini project based on OOPS, right? 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 So that is what I am going to do in today's class. Mini project simply means that I will be asking you to design something, right? I will be asking you to design something, and let's see how we can design. And parallelly also I will code, so no need to worry about that. So that would be the plan. So more questions on OOPS, something like a mini project, right? Mini project. Obviously, at the end of the Python lecture, we will be having a project on Python as well. But as of now, specifically based on OOPS, and this mini project will be actually a base for a bigger project on Python. So we'll start with that. OOPS. Then, then, then we are also going to see a concept called inheritance in OOPS. Inheritance. Inheritance. So this is also what we are going to look at. Then we are also going to look at encapsulation. Encapsulation. Right. Right. And then maybe polymorphism. But I am planning to cover these three things in detail. If I am able to complete these three things, that is good enough. Because OOPS requires at least 6 hours of dedicated teaching from my side, and from your side at least 6 3 18 hours of dedicated practice. Then only you will be able to solve, or you will be very comfortable related to the OOPS concept. Fine. Should we start, guys, now? So we'll start with, again, the same way. We'll start with the concepts first, then at the end we will be having interview question. So we will start with that. So after let's start with a very small discussion that we already have seen. What is, right, if you guys remember, we have already discussed what is a class. Can anyone define what is a class? We had already discussed this. What is a class? What is a class? Right. Anyone has to answer this. Anyone can answer. What is a class? Right? Right. Very good, Rajkumar. What about other people? What is a class? Quickly, guys, you have to answer this. What is a class? Very good. So class is a blueprint or template. Blueprint or template. Very easy to understand. Right? Right? What is object? Anyone? What is object? What is object? Quickly. What is an object? If you guys remember. Right. Right. What is object? Right. Right. Santanu saying maybe copy of a class. Santanu, think it more. Rajkumar says real entity. Very good. Right. Right. Anyone else? Physical existence. Very good, Praveen. An instance of real world entity. Anyone else wants to answer? Anyone else wants to answer? What is an object? Anyone? Right. Quickly. Anyone? What is an object? Type of class? No, Surbi. That's not a correct thing. What is an object? Other people? Represents the class, instance of a class. Yes, Sada, you are correct. Instance of a class. So basically, if you guys remember, I had talked about an example, right? Do you remember, guys? Let's say this is a university, right? And let's say we have Sada, let's say we have Rajkumar, we have Praveen. Everyone goes to university and asks for everyone goes to university and asks for a application form. University never mentions that this one form is there, just take it and go away. No, it actually gives a xerox of, or a template of application form to each one, S, R, and P. Sada, Rajkumar, and let's say Praveen. Now what happens? Sada fills the name. Let's say name, that is Sada, maybe age, maybe date of birth, and whatnot. Similarly, Rajkumar also does the same thing, and similarly, Praveen also does the same thing. Now, this is called as object 1, object 2, object 3, object 2, object 3. So, you cannot say it is a type of class. No, that is a wrong thing, wrong statement. You can say instance of a class, instance of a class. Right. You can say instance of a class. To make you understand, have you ever seen Gujia maker? Analogy. Analogy. Right. Gujia maker. Gujia maker. Have you ever heard about this Gujia maker? People outside India, this Gujia is a dish. Right. And to make, there's a tool called Gujia maker. So I'll just show you. Right. So I'll just show you here. If you just go ahead and search Gujia maker. Right. Just search it. Right. So if you, in the image, you will find this is your Gujia maker. So maybe let's say this is a Gujia maker. So what is happening, guys? You guys can answer me. What is a class and what is an object in this image? Quickly, guys. You guys have to answer this. What is a class and what is an object? Quickly. Anyone? What is a class and what is an object here in this case? Right. 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 Very good. Class. Here, Gujia maker is a class, and each of this Gujia is actually the object. Very simple. So what is happening? You are giving some ingredients, press it, that becomes one object. Again, you are giving some ingredients, press it, that becomes another object. Again, you give some ingredients, press it, that becomes the third object. And this is how it works. Yes or no? This is the understanding. Right? 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 This is the understanding. So, Atanaska, I am seeing you after a lot of time. Atanaska, are you understanding this? Right? Adeline, are you understanding this? Yes or no? Where is Ada? I am not seeing Ada today in the class. Right? Okay. Adeline, you are not responding. Right? Very good, Adeline. What about Atanaska? Are you understanding things or not? So this is actually an example of class and object. Very, very real world example. Right? So this is some dish. Right? Right? This is some dish. Right? And just you put the ingredients, and each time you get a new dish. 1, 2, 3. So these are objects. Very good. Not a problem. Very good. So this was so far the understanding of class and object. Now. So OOPS has few concepts associated with this, right? The concepts are, so let's say OOPS, in OOPS, you have some concepts. First is class and object. So let's say first is class. Second one is object. So we are going to understand this class and object in detail. Then we have some concept called encapsulation. Encapsulation, right? Then you have something called, you know, polymorphism, polymorphism, polymorphism. Then we have something called inheritance, inheritance, right? Inheritance. Then we have inheritance, 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 inheritance. Then we have abstraction, abstraction. So these are some concepts that we are going to look at. But again, this is one question that you should be asking. Why we actually try to learn OOPS? Why? Why do we actually learn OOPS? And by the end of today's lecture, I promise you, you will get to know, you will understand this, why actually OOPS is needed. I promise you guys. You will understand this, why actually OOPS is necessary, why OOPS comes into the picture. I will make you understand this. I will make you understand this why OOPS is very, very necessary. Rajkumar is saying to implement real world entity in the programming. Very good, you are correct. But there is a catch. You know the theory part to implement the real world entity, right? But how to do this? Right, you are absolutely correct. You need to have that feel how OOPS is so much powerful. And I promise you, you guys will get this feel. So let's start, guys, now. Enough of talks. So one last thing that I wanted to discuss. So let's say if you have list is let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, right. So whenever you write list equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, this becomes an object, right? List, tuples, tuples, or set or any data structure is a class. But whenever you define a variable like this becomes object. This becomes object. We had discussed yesterday in the class. Yes, yes or no? Any doubt in this? List tuple sets are class, and whenever you define a variable like this, it becomes object. Is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? This is the understanding that we have. Obviously, you understand this. Very good. Now, very good. So let's start now. How to define a class? What is the syntax? Right. We have understood everything, whatever so far we have seen. And yesterday's class also we had done the basics. So first of all, I will write it here. Advanced concepts, concepts in OOPS. So in this class, we are going to target class, 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 object, object. We're going to target class, object, then maybe encapsulation, 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 and maybe let's say if time permits, then inheritance, inheritance. So we'll target this much of the topic. So let's start. So we are going to understand this OOPS concept in a form of story, very easy way, and very uh, in basic terms. In very basic terms, we are going to understand this. So let's start with this. So first thing, what is the syntax of defining a class? Syntax, and before that also we already have seen that if let's say L is equals to, in yesterday class also we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then what we are going to do, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if you just print type of L, right? Type of L, then you will just find that this is a class list. So already we have seen earlier, uh, I had already discussed that this is a a class list. Similarly, if you want to see the type of a string, then also you will find that this is a class, maybe let's say career craft, and if you just print it, you will again find that this is a again class. Already we have seen this. Now, how to make a class? This is the next question. Or what is the syntax of the class? Syntax of the class. Syntax of the class. So what is syntax of the class? To understand the syntax of the class, before I move ahead, I have a term that I will throw on you. That term is Pascal case. So Pascal case example. So what is this Pascal case? Right. So if you see carefully, something is written in this format. First name, it is of two words. F is capital, N is capital. Do you guys see this? Yes or no? Or similarly, a total balance. T is capital, B is capital. Right? Weeks won, W is capital, W is capital. So both of these words starting letter is capital, uppercase, and both words are combined. This is called as Pascal case. So whenever you define the class, you have to use first a Python keyword called class. And let's say you want to define it, then maybe let's say class, you define it something like this, student. Class student. Very simple. Class student. So this student, so let's say student info. So I'll just write info. So I is capital, S is capital. Very simple. See, same case, Pascal case, similarly. This is the way you define. So class name should be Pascal case. Should be Pascal case. This is the first thing, Pascal case. And then then you can just similar to what to say function, you can just write your logic here inside this. Maybe let's say pass. I'm writing pass. I will show you, so you don't need to worry about that. So this is the first thing. So let's say if you want to make a class, then what you can do, class student info, student info, very simple, class student info, and then let's say pass. Pass means you don't do anything, that's it. Let's say let's say so if you just execute this, this has become your class student info. So if you just copy this information student info, let's see what happens. So now if you just here you want to call this class, so whenever you defined a function, you defined a function first and then you were calling the function. Similarly here you have defined the class, a blueprint is ready, now you want to call it. How will you call it? The moment you just write like this, you will call it. Again, same small parenthesis. And what is happening here? You will find this main student info at this. Now you have to answer me, what is the meaning of this? What is actually happening here? Anyone? Anyone wants to answer this? What you guys have done here, if you do student info with a small bracket, in fact what are you guys doing here? Quickly, with this small bracket, actually you are creating an object. Creating an object where at the location, that is this one, at the location this, right? Many people always gets confused. Always remember, many people gets confused. They think that you only create object when you write something like this. As is equals to student info and as is the object, right? I will just write it here. Many students, or many learners think that, thinks that, thinks that as is the object. No guys, don't get confused. As is not the object. Student info is the object. The moment you wrote here student info, actually that is the object, right? That is the object. So here many learners think that as is the object, right? But actually the moment you write you write you write student info, that is your object. Object is already created. Object is already created. I can prove it. How? So I can just prove it here in a second. So let's say here you have written as equals to student info. Now just check it, the as, you will realize this is the same thing. Now answer me, well, what is the object? Is it as is the object or this particular student info is the object? Anyone? Right. What is the object? Is it student info is the object or this as is the object? Quickly everyone. So RHS is an object. Very good, Sada. Then what do you call it as? What is this as? Then what is this as? As is the reference variable of the object. What is the meaning of this? So I'll just explain you. Very easy. Very easy. We understand everything in very detail, right? So the moment you write student info, the moment you write student info, the moment you write student info, right? Then what happens, right? Somewhere in the memory location, this is actually created. That object is created. Now that object is created, but how to name it? then comes as. So this is a reference variable. Reference simply means pointing to this particular memory location. Reference means pointing to the memory location. That's it. So now I will again write it. So what is as? As is a reference variable. As is a reference variable. Reference variable that points, points to the object location. Object location. Take a pause. Is it clear, everyone? So far, so good. So this is your class definition. You make an object something like this. Is it clear? Right? Is it clear? Right? Rajkumar had asked main. What is main? So just consider this, that student info is the main class. That's it. Nothing else. Right? Actually, I will come to this main again in VS Code whenever we will be executing. But don't worry about that. As of now, just think main simply means that this is the main class. As of now, in a very naive term. I will come to that. Right? So far, so good. Anyone has any other questions so far? Quickly, guys. Everyone good so far? Yes or no? Right. Quickly, everyone. I want everyone to participate in the discussion. Right, right, right. Very good, very good. So far, so good. Right, right. Now, guys, moving ahead, we have understood this. Now, let's say, let's say we have as equals to student info. Now I am going to delete it. I am going to delete it. So let's say this is your class student. So this is your class student info. So class student. So maybe instead of student info, I am just going to put student. Let's say I am just putting class student. Now answer me guys one thing, very simple thing. Just take some time and answer me one thing. Right. So for example here, let's say one student is there. One student is there. So this is a student. Maybe so let's say this is a student. Right? Right? This is a student. So let's say this is a student. Fine, not a problem. Answer me a very simple question. What are the functions of a student? Functions of a student. Function not considering the function that we have studied in a Python. So let's say if I ask you how a human function in that term, what is the function of a student? Anyone? What is the function of a student? What a function, sorry, what a student can do? Anyone? Very simple question. Think it, right? Very good. Sada says read and write. So let's say read, write, right. Let's say play. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right, right. Everyone agrees to this? Very good. Not a problem. This was the first question. Right, right. Second question. Right. What do you think? What could be the property of a student? Or let's say I am a human. Forget the word property. Let's say I am a human. Right. If I ask you a very simple question, what are my attributes? Attributes means property. What are my attributes? So can I say I have two eyes? Right. Can I say I have one nose? Can I say my name is something something like this? Yes or no? Everyone? Can I say this or not? So the first thing I talked about function, and then second thing I was just asking you, what is my attribute? Attribute means simply property. What is my property? So maybe let's say I will be having a name. Very good. I will be having, let's say, ID or something like that. So this is called as attribute. Why I am talking about this, I will discuss this in detail. But first function, second attribute. Now if I have told you a very simple thing that everything in this world is an object, everything in Python is an object, then I have to also say two things, that can have every object can have a function or attribute. This might be confusing in first go. This might be confusing, but you don't need to worry about that. I will show you with a lot of examples. Right? But here, as of now, it is very simple. Every object, every object will have two things. First, function. So let's say I am an object. Okay. I will give you a very basic example. Very basic example. Let's say God is there. Right. Right. Let's say God is there. Let's say God is there. Can I consider God is the programmer? So he has programmed us, everyone. Everyone agrees to this or not? God has programmed. There may be some God, and God has programmed us. Yes? Everyone agrees to this? God has programmed us. Yes or no? Quickly. Right. No. 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 Can I say Earth is a class? Earth is a class. Earth is a class. Right? Right. Earth is a class. Can I say this? Let's say Earth is a class. Right. Now, if Earth is a class, right, right, I can simply say human is an object. Human is an object. Now, if a human is an object, right, then each human is different from other human. How? By some name, by some ID, that is called as attribute. Each human can do few things, right? What? Breathing, running, reading, writing, playing. So you can say human body is functioning. So that is your function. Simple. Santanu has written a very good logic, analogy to understand. Function means activity, attribute means identification. You can say that as well. Not a problem. Right? Is it clear, everyone? Now is it clear? Yes or no? Or is it still confusing? Quickly, everyone. Yes or no? Right, 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 right. Now, now, very good. So here we have class student. Now, but one more thing, guys. Always remember, right? Function in a class is called as method. So I'll just write one more thing. Function in a class, function in a class is called as method. Is called as method. What is function? Function in a class is called as method. Function in a class is called as method. Function and method is both same thing. But whenever it comes to OOPS, then function is called as method. And let's make a method. So let's say class student and let's say def reading. So someone is reading, simple, def reading, and then let's say print the student is reading. The student is reading. Right? See, this is the syntax of a method. Very simple. This is the syntax of a method. Right? Inside a class, you can define any number of methods similar to this. So here inside a class, you can define any number of method. Any number of method. This is the understanding. Now, guys, answer me. Will this execute? Yes or no? Right. Will this be executed quickly? Yes or no? Will this be executed? Class student. Will this be executed? Yes or no? Rajkumar is saying no. Tushar is saying no. Why? Why it will not be executed? Right. This will be executed. See, here I will make a student. Maybe let's say Ram. Ram is equals to student. See, it got executed. Not a problem. This got executed. Now the question is, let's say I want to see if Ram is reading or not. Then in that case, how to look at, how to see if Ram is reading or not? So what you have to do, you have to access the method of a class, just put dot and hit tab. See, you are getting the reading. I will repeat it again. So I will write it here to access, to access, to access the, see it very carefully, to access the method of an object. What you can do? Just use ram dot and hit tab. You will get all the method associated with this class. Maybe here, let's say here, next method is def reading, and this time I will, instead of reading, I will just write writing. Sorry guys, I had to write writing. So writing. So writing. So let's say writing. So if you just write writing, and then you can just write print, print, the student is writing. The student is writing. The student is writing. Right. Very good. Now if you hit again tab, you will see the reading. Also you will see the writing. So just execute this. See here. Reading and writing. First of all, did you understood to access the method of a class using an object? How to do that? Yes or no? Right. Right? Yes or no? Everyone? Quickly. Everyone has to say yes or no, guys. Right? Don't be a sitting ghost in the class. Just a request, everyone. Please be active in the class. Right? 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 So here, this dot helps you to know, right? If you just hit tab, it will help you to see the associated method with this object. Associated method with this object. Very good. Now I will say reading. Now how to call a method or a function? You know this way you call it. Now answer me guys. Will it run? Right. Right. What do you think guys? Do you think this will run? Right. Tushar says yes. Anyone else? Do you think it will run? Sunil says yes. Rajkumar says no. Guys, whoever is saying yes, you guys are not typing the code parallelly. Right. Right. Please type the code parallelly. So if you execute this, you will realize it is giving you an error. Student reading takes zero positional argument, but one was given. But you are not giving any argument. Do you see here? Are you giving any argument here? Argument means already we have discussed in the function. Right. Are you giving any argument here? Any value inside a method will be argument. Are you giving this? Any value here, something like this, is an argument, right? But you are not giving, so you are not doing, you are not giving any argument. Still it is saying a student reading takes zero positional argument, but one was given. What is the meaning of this? Where is the lacking here? What is the understanding here? Right, right, right. So to understand this, again I will go back to this gujia maker. Now consider yourself as a gujia maker. Just consider. Let's say you are a gujia maker. You think yourself as a gujia maker. You are a gujia maker. Just consider yourself. Now each ingredient is coming to you. Each ingredient one by one is coming to you. Each ingredient is coming one by one to you. So what it becomes? This becomes object 1. Again, this will come. This becomes object 2. This becomes object 3. Now the question is, right, right. These are objects. But How will you know at one point of time which object I am processing? How will you know? I will repeat it. This is confusing but very, very important to understand. Practically, this is very easy to understand. Theoretically, if someone asks you to explain, then you will stuck here. Right? Right. So I will again repeat it. Very simple. You are a gujia maker. You are this machine, right? Each time some ingredient is coming, some ingredient is coming, some ingredient is coming, some ingredient is coming. This is called as object or instance. We already have discussed that object is called as instance. So object or instance. This is also called as object instance. This is also called as object instance. This is also called as object instance. Now, at one point of time, how, as a gujia maker, you will know that which current gujia is being processed. This is called as gujia. Gujia, right? Gujia. So, how will you know that which particular dish is being processed? How will you know this? How will you know this? So, to know this, we have something called a variable, that is self. Self means, and that self is a by default first argument of each of the method, self and self. Now just execute this. Ram equals to student. Now what will happen? Once you made an object Ram, then this class knows that my current object is Ram. So now if you just execute, see, the student is reading. Right, right. So this self actually by default, so I'll just put it this here so that so that while studying you understand everything that how it was working. So Ram student. So here I will just execute this. This is your Ram student. So here I will write self, right? And then self, and then after that, Ram dot. So let's say this is a name, Ram dot, hit tab, reading or writing, whatever you do. Now it will not throw an error. If you make another object, Ram is equals to student. Now you make another object, Syam is equals to this student, right? Syam is equals to student. Then again, you will execute here. Let's say Syam dot. So let's say here, Syam dot reading, right? If you execute this, then see the student is reading. So this object, for this object, this is reading. For this object, this is the reading. So each time there can be multiple current object, and each current object is actually known to the class by using this particular self keyword. By this particular self keyword. So this self keyword, what is the self? Actually, this is not a keyword, a variable. So what is self? Self is a variable. So I'll just define it. Very important. Self is a variable. Self is a variable that represents. Self is a variable that represents the instance of the class. Instance of the class using which you can access, or using which the method and attribute can be accessed. Till now I haven't showed you the attribute. Don't worry about that, I will come to this, but hope you understood what is the self. Self means the current object. So everyone here in the class is a student. Sada will be having its own self. Rajkumar will be having its own self. But how they will be having one own self? So each time this class is called on, sorry, each time the object is created from this student class, then you will get reading or writing as a method. And in this reading and writing method, if you pass this self, then this reading will be special or specific to, let's say, Sada, or this reading will be specific to, let's say, Rajkumar. Right, right. This is the understanding. Is it clear, everyone? It is, guys, very important. If you don't have understood, then please do let me know. I will again explain it. But this is very very important. Is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? Quickly. Yes or no, guys? Everyone. Right? Right? Everyone has to answer. Is it clear? Right. It's a very easy concept, but very confusing. What is the use of self? Right. Right. So this is the use of self. Now I will write some pointers. Right. Some pointers. Some pointers related to self so that you guys cannot forget it. So let's say second pointer. Right. With every method, self will be there. This is the second point. Any method is there. Any method is there. You will find, right? You will find the self. Right? You will find the self. Right? Right. Now, third point that is very, very important. Right. Right. Self is actually Self is not a keyword. Self is not a keyword. You can use anything. You can use anything. You can use anything. It is just a convention. It is just a convention that we use self. I'll just show you. So let's say here we have class student, deaf reading, deaf writing. So now I am going to show you. So let's say deaf reading, deaf writing. So here now I will just execute this, right? I will execute this. Now instead of self, let's say I will write Rajkumar. Let's say Rajkumar, right? Rajkumar name is very big. So let's say Ada. So let's say we have Ada here. We have Ada here. Very simple. So this is your class student reading, writing Ada. Now see it. What happens? Let's say here I will just write something like this. I will make an object. Syam is equals to student. Syam dot reading and see it will run. It doesn't matter what you write here. You can write self or you can write any word. It is not a Python keyword. It's not a Python keyword. It is just that you should write anything that could possibly know that each of these method is associated with the current object. Right? So again, self helps to know, self helps to know that the methods, that the methods or that methods or that the methods or attribute. I will come to attribute as well. Methods or attribute is associated to the current object, to the current object. That is the understanding. Right. Rajkumar says, sir, will you elaborate more possible way? What is the doubt? Rajkumar, please go ahead. What is the doubt? Rajkumar? Right, right. Dot, dot. Dot is nothing. Dot is nothing. So whenever you make an object, I will come to that. Don't worry. Dot. Okay. Dot I will come. Before coming to this, I will make one statement. Then I will come to the dot. Right. So dot, I will come to that. But I am going to make a statement. All attributes, all attributes and methods of a class can only be accessed by all attributes and methods of a class can only be accessed by the object. First of all, see this statement, try to process this in your brain, take some time. I don't have any problem. I am almost free for the whole night today. So please see this statement and think it. Don't judge me that I don't have any girlfriend or I don't have any wife. I do have personal life, so don't worry about that. Just try to look at this statement and just think it. What is the meaning of this statement? Quickly, quickly, guys, just think it. What is the meaning of this statement? Everyone, all attributes and methods of a class can only be accessed by the object. Guys, you have to answer this. There's no any option. Quickly, what is the meaning of this? What is the understanding of this? Quickly, everyone. Right, 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 right. I'm not asking the reason. What is the understanding of this? All attributes and methods of a class can be accessed by the object. I am asking this. Very good, Sada. It means those are associated with that object. Very good. Right? Right. Object referencing to class use its behavior. Very good, Praveen. Very good. I will actually write this particular statement. Object referencing to the class uses its behavior. Uses its behavior. This is, I guess, the base statement I have said. Very good. Weapon says object inherit the class. No weapon. No, that's not the correct understanding. Not the correct understanding. So I will make you understand this. What is the meaning of this? So this is a class student, right? So let's say class student. So I'll just copy this so that I can make you understand. So let's say this is a class student. Now think it in a very easy way. A student can be anyone. So student can be weapon. So let's say here I will just write student is weapon. So I will just write student is a weapon. So here one object is weapon. So weapon is the student. Then another, maybe let's say Praveen. P can be another student, right? Right. Can again, then let's say maybe Sada. Sada can be another student, right? Fine. Very good. I will execute it. So there are how many objects here, guys? Everyone? How many objects are there? Can I say 3 objects? There are 3 objects. Very good. Now, each student, what they can do? Each of these student, what they can do? Each of these student, what they can do? Everyone has to answer. Each of these students, what they can do? They can read and write. So can I say read and write is associated with this object as well? Read and write is associated with this object as well? Read and write is associated with this object as well? Yes or no? Yes or no? So I can just write 3 students. 3 students. Read and write is associated with all the 3 students. All the 3 students. Now the next question is how this read and write is different for each of these students is defined by self. So self self defines how this read and write self defines how this read and write is different for these students. Different for each of the student. For each of the student. This is the second one. For each of the student. Now comes the interesting part. Right. Now, can I say that I want to access this particular function? So here ADA, I will just remove this now. Done with the ADA. So just write it yourself. Now, outside this class, I want to access this particular function. Can I do so? Let's say reading is there. Can I do so? Anyone? Right? Can I do so? Right. Execute this. What you will find? Name reading is not defined. But now, if I say V is there, now if you do V dot, the moment you do V dot, it helps you to look after what are the methods and the attribute associated. So what is a V? V is an object and you can only access the method using the object. So all attributes and method of a class can only accessed by the object. And that's why if you now execute this, it will be executed, it will not throw an error. This is the understanding that all the attributes and method of a class can only be accessed by the object, and this is how you see it. What is this dot? Dot help us to know what is the method associated with this. This is the understanding. I will talk about this dot again. No need to worry about that after this. But first of all, have you guys understood this particular statement quickly? Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? Everyone. Everyone. Yes. Right. Tushar says, sir, one doubt. V becomes object after execution of V is equals to student. No. I explicitly mentioned that V is not an object, though I say sometimes, but if you see, it was explicitly mentioned here. Guys, do you remember that? I talked about this, right? Many learners think that S is the object, but actually the moment you write student info, object is already created. Then what is S? S is reference variable that points to the object location, or you can say variable or pointer. Pointer. But yes, while talking, while discussion, many of the time you will find me saying that V is the object, but it is actually the reference to the object. Got it, Tushar? Yes or no? It should be crystal clear. It should be crystal clear, right? It should be very, very crystal clear. Now, guys, this is the understanding, right? Right. Very good, right? Very good, very good. Now, moving ahead, moving ahead. So V dot reading, the student is reading. Right, 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 right. Now, there is one more thing that we are going to understand here. So, what is this dot? Right. So, I'll just make a question here. What is this dot? What is this dot? So, guys, if you remember, so let's say length of, so let's say I will define a list. Let's say L is equals to L is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have S. S is equals to, maybe let's say string, let's say Ajay. See it carefully. If I write length of S, then what is the value that you get, guys? Quickly. What is the value that you get? Right? What is the value that you get? Quickly. Everyone. So you get 4. Yes or no? Right. Similarly, if I ask you, what is the length of L that you get? So you get 5. But at the same time, this is the one way of writing this. But the moment you write like this, L dot append, have you used this way? Have you used something like this? Answer me. Have you used something like this? Yes. So this is your L. Now answer me, what is the difference? Here, this is a function. This is a function. This is a function that can be used across anywhere. That can be used across anywhere. Anywhere. And what is this? This is a method associated. So see, this is the difference. So if you write function, you call like this. If it is a method, then object dot method. A method associated with the class list. This guys, this statement seems to be very small, but it is a very, very big statement. A function is called like this. And whenever you call a method associated with the object of a class, here in this case is a list. List is a class, L is the object, and you are accessing a method that is called as append, and you are doing 4. That's it. Is it clear? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? So what is the dot? Dot helps us to access the method of the class. Dot helps us to access method and attribute of the object. That's it, right? Is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? Quickly, right? 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 Everyone clear? Should I move ahead? One more thing. One more thing. I will just write this. So because we are discussing self, self. Till now we are discussing the self only. In this self we have also discussed about the dot. But these all are very, very important questions for the interview perspective. But anyway, so let's move ahead with something else, right? There again I will make one very big statement that is very, very important. Self. So we are actually doing PhD in a self. Where self is very, very important, guys. Self helps to call method, helps to call method from another method inside a class. Another method inside the class. Inside the class. Self helps to call a method from another method inside the class. Also, self helps us helps us to access the attribute anywhere inside the class. Anywhere inside the class. Now, to understand these 2 points, actually now we have to go to a real world problem statement. We have to actually understand what is attribute, because till now we have not discussed about the attribute. We have seen the methods, right, but we haven't talked about attribute. So first of all we have to understand attribute, and then slowly we will go to method, right? So should we move ahead, guys? For as of now, just we can take a pause of 1-2 seconds. So far so good, everyone? So far so good? Yes or no? Quickly. Right, 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 right. Okay, very good, very good. Now let's move ahead, guys. Let's move ahead. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to make sure that you guys understand everything. It is just that you have to follow me, right? So let's start. So let's say what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a very simple thing. What I'm going to do. So let's say here I will just write a comment. Will be explained at a later stage. At a later stage. Both the pointers above will be explained at a later stage. Both the pointers above will be explained at a later stage. So now let's start. Very good. We know this. Now moving ahead. So let's start understanding. So let's say we have a class called bank. We have a class called bank. Now you want to, right? So let's say if you want to design a banking system, let's say you want to design a banking system. So what you do in the bank, guys? Quickly, what you do in a bank? Can I say at least 2 things you should do in a bank? First, deposit the money. Yes or no? And second, you withdraw the money. Right? Very simple. These are the 2 things that you do. Right? These are the 2 things that you do. Yes or no? Right? Now, this we understand. So now let's say we have understood what are the methods or what is the function of a bank. So we understood function in the class is called as method. We understood that the function of a bank is depositing the money and let other people withdraw the money. So I will just write it here. Maybe I will write it a very simple way. So def, right, deposit of a money, right. So now deposit self, right. So you already know self is the compulsory. This is the compulsory argument. Very good, not a problem. After that, what do you deposit, guys? You deposit some money, yes or no? You deposit some money. So can I write here, let's say amount, I want to deposit some amount, right? Now I will just write print I am depositing some money. I am depositing some money, right? Similarly, let's say you want to withdraw, then what you can do? Def deposit. Instead of this, I will just write a very simple thing. So let's say def withdraw. So withdraw. Let's say withdraw. So this time, what I am going to say, withdraw self amount. I am withdrawing some money. Withdrawing some money. Right? Is it clear? Yes or no? These are the two methods, not a problem. So I'll just execute this, make an object of bank. So let's say I will make a object of bank. Let's say Ajay is going to deposit something in the bank. So let's say like this. So now what I will do, execute this. Ajay is the object. There can be other object as well, but let's say Ajay is there. Dot. If you hit tab, you will get associated method with this. Now just do deposit. Now guys, if I do like this, will it execute? Everyone, will it execute, guys? Quickly, you have to answer this. Will it execute? Will it execute? Quickly, will it execute? No. No. Why? It will throw an error because missing one required positional argument, that is amount. So what you have to do, you have to provide an argument, that is 1000. So the moment you do 1000, it will show you I am depositing some money. Now similarly, if you want to withdraw, Ajay dot withdraw. So just do withdraw, and let's say you just put, let's say 500. You will say I am withdrawing some money. Right? It is not a foolproof, very good code. I will come to that again and again. Just I wanted to explain you this. Right? Very good. Till here, not a problem. Now comes the interesting thing. Here you are providing 1000, you are providing 500. Right? Fine, not a problem. Can I have some by default? So whenever you go and open a whenever you go and open a bank account, right? There should be a default basic money, or there should be a compulsory money, right? Right. Yes or no, guys? Whenever you go and open a bank account, you might have observed in the bank that they will ask for a compulsory money at the start. It can be 500 INR, or let's say $50 or $100 compulsory money, or minimum balance. Very good. So they ask you a minimum balance. Let's say minimum balance. They will ask you this minimum balance in the account. So let's say again we went to open a bank account, and this time what I am going to do, I will have a compulsory minimum balance. What should be it? So I will just put it here. Amount is equals to 1000. Amount is equals to 1000. So now let's see it. What happens, guys, now? So let's again make an object. Let's say this time Raj. So Raj is the object of bank. Very good. Raj is the object of bank. And now if you just hit tab, then you will get three things now: amount, deposit, withdraw. See it carefully. This is very, very interesting. So again, now deposit, just give the value 1000 or any value. I am depositing some money. If you just see Raj dot withdraw, then again you can pass any amount. Then it will say I am withdrawing some money. But you also found something, that is amount. Right. Just hit tab again. Hit tab. You will see here amount. Right. Right. See here again, hit tab. Then you will find deposit is a function. See here. This is a function, withdraw is a function. Right. It means in class it is a method. You cannot call it as a function. It is a method of this object. But here if you see amount, you will find there is a word written instance. Actually that is wrong. This instance is not a correct thing to say. But let's say there is a variable called amount. And now if you execute this, how to execute? Should I execute like this, everyone? Should I execute like this? Will it execute, everyone? Will it execute? Right. No, you have to, it is not a method. It is a very simple variable. Now, if you execute, this is 1000. This is your 1000. Right. Again, let's take another example. Let's say another object. So this instead of Raj, now this time again take Ajay. Ajay is equals to this. Right. Ajay equals to bank. And again, this is another object. But let's say Ajay dot, just do Ajay dot amount. See, this time also you will get 1000. Make as many as object you want to make. Each time you will realize that the variable amount is same. But does it happen in real life? So I'll just write again one comment. Make any number of object, make any number of object, amount will be only 1000, only 1000. But it is not true, because let's say first time it is 1000, but someone will come deposit, someone will withdraw, and it will keep reducing, increasing, something like that. But any object you try to make, then it will give you the same amount, that is 1000. Right? So guys, have you understood the problem? Make any number of object, amount will be only 1000. Did you guys understood? Because this is going to be changed for every people. Right? Yes or no, guys, quickly? Yes or no? Santanu says that in my system amount is one statement. No, that is wrong. Anyone has any questions so far? Quickly, guys. Right? Right? So this is the problem. Everyone, yes or no? Did you guys understood the problem? That is very important to understand the problem first. Right? Right. So this is the problem. So I'll just give you another example as well. So let's say I'm giving you another example. So let's say you have to define a class to do some list operations. Right? Some list operations. So let's say here class list operations. So list operations. So you want to do list operations. So what is the list operations you want to do? So let's say we have L is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what do you want to do? You want to find out if there is an even number from the list and what are the odd number from the list. So you can just do def extract, extract even. So maybe let's extract even, and you can just say first argument is self, then the list L, then what do you want to do? L1 is equals to this, L1 is equals to this, right? This particular empty list, and then for I in L, see here, for I in L, if I percent 2 is equals to 0, then L1 dot append, L1 dot append, L1 dot append, L1 dot append what? I. So this will become your, you know, uh, uh, let's say even number. So this will be even number, and then finally you will return return L1. That's it. That's it. Now similarly extract odd. So here you can just write extract odd. So let's say extract odd. So let's say extract odd here. Now what you can do? Extract odd. Very simple. Again same thing. It is just that you have to change the symbol. Is not equals to 0. See, very easy. Now let's make a list operation. So list operation here, list operation is there. So let's say list operation, right? Fine, list operation is there, right? So let's make an object. So this is your list operation. So let's say here we will write operation 1. So this is your first operation. Very good. So OOPS-1. So OOPS-1, if you hit tab, you will find extract even, extract odd, and L. Right. This is the understanding. So now let's say L. If you just execute L, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's say you want to have operation 2, right? Make another object. Still, you will find the same list, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's say you want to have extract event. So what you will do? Operation 2 dot. So ops2 dot extract event. You want to pass this list. So how can you pass this list? Ops2 dot list. So let's say you passed like this, then what you will get? You will get a event number. And let's say you pass another list. So this list you will get value like this. So 1, 8, 10 like this. You will get the values returned like this, right? So here in this case, in case of a new list, so I'll just write like this, operation 2L, right, right. So here I will just put like this, operation 2, and now I will just put it here, a new list, 1, 8, 9, 10, something like that. You have got extract event like this. Is it clear, everyone? I'm just giving you a little bit of more practice, and then we will move ahead with some other things as well. That is going to be fun. But so far, so good, guys, everyone. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys, quickly. Anyone has any questions till now? Quickly, guys. Right, 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 right. But still, we have not been able to solve a problem that was, let's say, ops.l. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we able to solve this problem? See, for this object is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and OPS-1.L, this is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So can I write we are still not able to solve the problem of different attribute for different object? Can I write this? Yes or no? Everyone is clear with this statement? Yes or no? Everyone? Right. Now, guys, what we can do? This is going to be a very interesting thing. And we are going to solve a lot of problem statement today. So let's say now I will copy the same code. I will copy the same code. See here, I will copy the same code. Here we have seen that even if you pass this L, or even if you pass a new L, this is a new list, it will give you the result, a new list, it will give you the result. But the moment you access the attribute ops2.l, it will give you the older defined. Right? So in this case, what you can do? In this case, again, I will come back to the same thing, and instead of this L is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will write something like this: def init underscore underscore self self and L. This is something I will write. And then I will just write self dot L is equals to L. And now whenever we are having L, you can access that by self dot L. So you can just remove this and you can now say self dot L. Hopefully you understand the significance of self here. So here now self dot L, and again here also you can remove this L and just write L is equals to self dot L. Now guys, see the magic. Now what is this init? I will talk about this. So this is also called as magic method. This is also called a magic method, right? Right. This is also called as constructor. So there are multiple magic method. This constructor is one of the magic method. Constructor is one of the magic method. What is the meaning of this? What is this constructor? What is the magic method? Right. So here I will write the comments first. Magic methods are those methods that starts and ends with two underscore right. Constructor is a type of right? Magic or special method. You can just write special. Constructor is a type of special or magic method, right? Which do not need to be called, which you do not need to call. You do not need to call. By default, when you make a is you make an object, when you make an object, the first thing that will be executed, the first thing that will be executed is the constructor, is the constructor. This is theory. Why constructor is needed? Right, 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 right. Why it is needed? What is the use case of this? I will come to this. Right. I will discuss in detail. So by default, when you make an object or whatever time you make an object, n number of times object. So, right, number of times or the time when you make an object, 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 the constructor is by default executed, is by default executed. Now let's see it. Let's see it. So for example, here I have the code, right? So I'll just copy this, Control A, Control C. Right. I will just copy this, and now I will just write print inside the constructor, inside the constructor, ooh la la, ooh la la. Let's see it what happens. Now what I'm going to do, going to call this particular class. So I will just call list operation and see what will happen. This is your a is equals to list operation, this is your first operation. So let's say ops1. See here, right? First thing, you have to pass a list. So basically now, why you are getting an error? Because as I mentioned you earlier, by default, whenever you will try to make an object, the first thing that will happen is that this init will be executed. You don't even need to call it inside the class. This will be executed first. And once this will be executed first, it will look after the argument. Where is my value list? Where is my list? So here it will throw an error. It will throw an error. An error. It means the moment you create an object, the moment you create an object, you create an object, you create an object, the init will be executed, and it will look after, it will look for the argument, look for the argument. That's it. So now let's say if you want to again make this object, so now this time if you just do oops equals to list oops, then let's say you will pass like this 1 2 3, and now see what happens inside the constructor. Ooh la la, ooh la la. It simply means again again means again. See the print statement, again see the print statement. This is print statement. The moment object is created, object is created, the inside the constructor is printed, inside the constructor is printed. So this is the understanding. Now, did we solve the problem of attribute? So let's say here ops1. So this is your ops1. So here this is your operation 1. Now I am going to make operation 2. So this time operation 2, I will just put here 100, right? 21, right? And let's say 32. So in this case, this is the value. So let's operation 2. Now see here what will happen. If you, the moment you write operation 1 dot, see here extract even extract or L. Now if you do L, you will find this list 1 2 3. Now if you do ops2, what will happen here? Ops2 dot hit tab, this L, this time you will find 121.32. So the problem of having same value of list, having same value of list is solved. Same value of list for multiple object, for different object is solved. Now what is the understanding? I will again explain it, but this is very simple to understand. So what happened actually here? So first thing, whenever you made a class list ops, the moment you made a list ops, this particular part is executed. Once it is executed, what will happen? You provide some list value. So it will come here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It will come here. Now, after this list will come here. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. So here, when you write self.l, this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. This has become a instance variable. This is called as instance variable because instance or object variable, because for this particular object where the input is 1, 2, 3, 4, self.l becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now each time you want to access this L, you just need to call self.l. L is equals to self.l. L is equals to self.l like this, and you are done. This is the complete understanding of L is equals to self.l. This is the complete understanding of yourself and how does it work with sync in a constructor. That's the whole idea. So guys, now I will take a pause and say that if you guys have understood those two comments that I had written earlier. So self helps us to access the attribute anywhere inside the class. So this should be now clear here, because here we see that self help us to access the attribute anywhere inside the class, and that's why inside this class anywhere using self you are able to access this input, you are able to access this input. Is it clear everyone? Yes or no guys? Quickly, yes or no? Right? Is it crystal clear or just went above the head? Right? 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 Very good. Many of the people are saying clear. So let's take a 5 minutes of break, guys, and then we will again come back and start the discussion. So let's take a 5 minutes of break. Uh, right. Then we will start with the same thing. So 5 minutes timer. Hmm. Should we start, everyone? Yes or no? Everyone, should we start quickly? Right, right. So that one point was we do not mention any. We'll discuss that something not last. Okay, I have already discussed two three times. We'll discuss in the last. Okay, we'll discuss that in the last. Now, guys, there is few interview questions associated with this. Right. First thing, first thing that is very very important. Right. Very very important. What is the use of a what is the use of a constructor? That's the first question. What is the use of a constructor? Believe me, who have worked in a real world problem, their answer will be different from the theoretical answer that you have studied. But anyway, answer me. What is the use of a constructor? This is a very, very important question with respect to interview, and this is the industry use case as well. What is the use of a constructor? Quickly, guys, you have to answer this. What is the use case of a constructor? Quickly, everyone. To initialize the different values of a different object. So that you are correct, but not good enough to crack an interview. Sunil, initiate retrieve object specific data. Again, you are correct, Sunil, but not good enough to crack an interview. Anyone else wants to attempt this? What is the use of a constructor? I'm not saying that you cannot crack interview. You cannot crack maybe let's say my interview. Let's say if I have to reject you, I can reject you based on this answer. But obviously, I will not do that if you come for my company. Obviously, but yeah, the question is this is not the complete answer. Anyone? Should I give you a case study now? Right? Right. So let's say you have a cab booking system. Actually, we are going to make a cab booking system today itself. So this is going to be fun. So let's say you have a cab booking system. Now answer me a very simple question. Whenever you open a app, let's say Ola or Uber, sometime while opening the app, you see circle, 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 something like this. Do you see that, guys? For some time, just go ahead, take your phone. I'm hoping that you guys all have Uber, right? Just the first thing, see my image I am showing you. It is like Uber and then a white screen, right? So what happened here? So when I opened the app, right? When I opened the app, so let's say this is my app. So when I opened the Uber app, it actually, first of all, this was giving me this. Then for some time, it was a white screen. And then my app actually opened up. Everyone agrees to this. Can you guys try it out quickly? Everyone. Everyone agrees to this. Anyone who disagrees, quickly, guys. Right? 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 There's no one who agrees to this. There's no one who agrees to this. Right? 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 Okay. Right. So actually, the moment this Uber was there, what do you think, guys? What was happening at that point of time? What was happening at that point of time? Please think it and answer it. Right. Right. what was happening at that point of time. So can I say, right, fetching the details, app was initializing or loading, create instance. Very good, Rajkumar. So actually what is happening? Try to understand, right? Right. Actually, some time to open, right? What was actually happening at that point of time when you opened that, right? Right. Right. So when you opened the app, the configuration related all the things were initialized, all the things were initialized. But how were the things that was initialized? How? So basically, let's assume an instance was created, and when an instance slash object is created, what is the first thing that runs? When instance or object is created, what is the first thing that runs? When an instance and object is created, what is the first thing that runs? The first thing that runs is the constructor. The first thing that runs, that runs, that runs is constructor, is constructor. And in constructor, you might have, in constructor, you might have, constructor, you might have the information you have, you you might the information have the information like you might have the information like what? Information like what? You might have information like, right, your sign in details. That's it. This is, yes, very good, location or connecting to the database, whatever you want to say this, connecting to the database. So whatever things that connecting to database, whatever thing, whatever thing your application, whatever thing your application needs without knowing, without letting the user know, letting the user know, is actually kept in constructor, actually kept in constructor. So did you guys understood this? What is the use case of constructor? Yes or no? Very important, very important. Yes or no, guys, quickly. Have you guys understood this? This will be asked in the interview, right? And if you just explain this, believe me, no one is going to reject you in the interview because everyone has studied OOPS. Everyone knows the concept. But when it comes to the practical understanding, everyone is nil but a sannata. Everyone, or not everyone, everyone would be the wrong word. Maybe maximum of the people don't know what is the use case. So now onwards, whenever you will be designing any software, in your work, in your career, always keep, always keep, always keep the by default initialization of attributes or value in the constructor. And that's why you see that if you want to have attributes, you define it using a constructor. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is it clear? Right, right, right. So now, guys, a few basic questions, basic things. Then I will move ahead to the problem statement. So we are going to solve a lot of problem statement. Few very basic things. There is one term that is called as class. Sorry, one more thing. Whenever you take a parameter here, here you took a parameter, right? You took a parameter here. So this L is a parameter. So this is also known as parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Parameterize parameterize constructor. You don't need to memorize that. You understand this, right? Parameterize constructor. Thus you need to know that if you are taking a parameter here, then you say that it is called as parameterized constructor. Otherwise, you can also just use self. It's not a problem. But here you have used one parameter. That's why it is called as parameterized constructor. Very good. One more thing that is very important concept, that is class diagram. So class diagram. This is used whenever you are working in the corporate. Right. So if you just Google it out, what is a class diagram? So let's see it. So if I just show you class diagram. So if I show you the class diagram, so it will look like this. See here. This is a class diagram. See how beautiful it looks like. So I'll just copy paste anything. So let's say this is a class diagram. So this is a class diagram. So I just copy this, right? Copy image and just I will paste it. So hopefully you will understand what is a class diagram. So let's say here class diagram. Right. So this is a class diagram. So what is the meaning of this class diagram? It's very easy. Actually, the way you represent, a class is something like this. So you will be having a bigger box. So let's say like this. There is a bigger box. Let's say there is a bigger box. This is a bigger box. The first thing will be the class name. So let's say this is your class name. This is your class name, right? Second division, so you divide this into two parts. This second thing will be your attribute. Attribute is also known as data. Now I am using another word, that is data, and this is also called as methods or function. Did you guys understood this? Yes or no? A very small concept, but very, very important, right? So this is your class diagram. So what is class diagram? To work in corporate, to work in your job life. So class diagram. So I'll just write in details. I'll just write every detail. So to work, so class diagram, class diagram is representative of class diagram is representative of class or representative diagram of a class plan. You can just say this, right? Divide into three parts. First part class name, first part class name, class name. Second part, attribute. Second part is attribute, is name of attribute and data. And the third attribute or data, third part will be function or method. Function and or method. Is it clear? Is it clear, everyone? This is a very small thing, but very, very important. Sometimes, while working on a blueprint or while working on a paper, pen and paper, you might have to make this. But one thing is there. You see plus symbol. What is the meaning of plus symbol? And somewhere you will also see minus symbol. Let's take any image where there is minus symbol. Let's say, okay, here if you see, there is minus symbol. See here, it is minus symbol. Here it is plus symbol. What is the meaning of this? Right? Right? What is plus and what is this minus? Anyone? So plus means right, right. Public, very good, very good. So plus means public, 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 and minus means private. What is the meaning of public and private? I will discuss this in encapsulation. So this encapsulation thing I will discuss. So no need to worry about that. This is the understand. Is it clear? Everyone is clear? Yes or no? Yes. So what is the summary till now? First thing, there is data or attribute in a class. Second thing, there is a function or method in the class. Attribute or data is actually initialized in constructor which runs by default. That's it. Now coming to the bigger concept, right, 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 right. That is how to actually make the system using OOPS, right? So I have few problem statements that I want to start discussion. But before that, few small pointers. So I'll just write pointers so that already we have discussed this. Just to summarize the things so that no one gets confused. So very important, right? Right. Data and method. Data is nothing but attribute. Attribute. Method is nothing but function of a class. Class. Class can only be accessed by accessed by accessed by object inside the class, in the class, or object or method in the class. That is the first thing. Right. This is very important. There should not be any problem with it. Right. Right. Now, one more thing. How? Right. Object access that method or class. Object access the method and and attribute slash data by dot by dot. How? Just make an object and do that. Simple. So here I can just show you. So this is your thing. Now I can just show you here. So let's say this is the, sorry guys, this I did copied it somehow. So control C, and then let's say here control B is the, array yaar, what is happening? So here let's say control V we have. So now let's say control V is there. Now let's say we have list operations. So list operations. So we have this class list operation. So this class list operation. So now this is your list operation and this is particular first operation. So L1 is equals to list operation, or let's say O1. O1 is first operation and here you have to pass a list. So let's say you pass a list that is 1, 2, 3. Then now execute. Then here you can just write very simple thing O1 dot whatever you want to access, you can access in this way. Done. This is the understanding. Now another point was, so object class can be accessed, right? Another pointer that was very important, again pointer, this is very important, pointer. So whenever you write like this, right, whenever this is right, you write like this. So O1 is the reference. So here O1 is the reference. O1 is the reference. You cannot say that O1 is the object. Object is already created here. It is just that, right? O1 is the reference. Reference to what? To the memory location. To the memory location. So we have already discussed this, right? Right. Any other pointer? I think summarization, right? Okay. Very good. This is the understanding. Not a problem till now. So yeah. So this was few important things that we had to discuss about the little bit of OOPS, and obviously there are other things as well. We will discuss that again and again, right? Mhm. One thing very important, that is something we are going to discuss after solving a problem statement, that how can you pass a object inside a function. So we are going to see that as well. So let's see that itself here as well. So how to pass, let's say this one, how to pass, this is very important. Then we'll move to the questions. How to pass an object inside a function, inside a function, very easy. So let's say inside a function, so what I am going to do, again this is a class list operation. So this is a class list operation. I have copied this, so I'll just copy this. Right now what I am going to do, So let's say here O1 is list operation. Now I will make a function. Maybe let's say I will make a function def. That's it, def. And here I can just write show the value. Let's say show value. Very simple. Def show value, and it takes some argument. So whatever I want to put it. So let's say I will just put it object. Let's say object. Now what I'm going to do. So here itself you can just write print. So you can just write print, and here I will just say the value of the list is. Now, how to access the list value? Just you write object.l, because this is the attribute. So now just execute this. Now what you can do? You can first of all make a list operation object. So let's say you made an object here. So you can just make an object. So here you made an object with a list. So list is, let's say, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and then this is your object. So this will be referenced by, let's say, OOPS-1, or let's say OOPS. So this is your OOPS. Now I will just pass this inside the show value. So inside this show value, I will pass this OOPS. So OOPS. See what will happen. The value of the list is 1 2 3 4 5. This is very important to understand, and give you an added advantage if you want to use your object this way. So object can be also an argument of a function. Is it clear? Yes or no? This is the way you can also access, and this is outside the class. See it carefully. This is outside the class. Be very careful here that this is outside the class. Outside the class also you can pass the object inside a different function. Yes or no, guys? Quickly. Right. Everyone. Yes or no, guys? Quickly. Right. Right. Now, one more thing, guys. Let's say whatever you are passing here, is that same thing? Is the object same? So I will just write another comment. Is the object inside the class and outside the class same? This is something we need to figure it out. So let's say here what I'm going to do, control A, control C. Now here I am going to put it something like this. So control B. Now what I can do here, maybe I will just put it ID of object. So let's say print ID of object. So let's say here I have printed ID of object, print ID of object, and outside also I will print it. So let's say here OOPS is this one. So OOPS is this one, right? OOPS is this one. So I will just access like this, and now you will see here OOPS dot sorry, I'll just pass show value. So show value here, let's say show value here, I will just pass OOPS, and here I will just print ID of OOPS, ID of OOPS, ID of OOPS, and this is the ID of this is, right? I will just write this is ID, this is ID of object, or this is the memory location of object, right? Object, and this is, let's say this is inside the function. So inside the function, what do you think, guys? What will happen? Will both the IDs same or different? Quickly, can you answer this? Right. So now if you see here, both of them ID is same, and that's why again we re-verified it that this OOPS is not an object itself, right? This OOPS is re-verified that OOPS is not an object, but but a reference to the object. Right? This is also called as pass by reference. So whatever you have understood this is term, actually this the thing is pass by reference. So here I will just write Yeah, pass by reference. This is also called as pass by reference. Pass by reference. So passing an argument by reference. And that reference is the object reference. That's it. Reference. This is the understanding. Is it clear? Yes or no? Everyone. Is it clear, guys? Everyone. Now, I have one question. This is very, very high order. And again, I am raising the bar. Hopefully, everyone will understand this. This is the maximum range of bar that we can go. Right? Is object mutable? This is the question. Is the object mutable? Is the object mutable? This is the next question. Can anyone answer this? Try it out. Try it out, guys. Just think it. Is object mutable? Rajkumar says is yes. How? How come it is yes? Quickly. Say, let's say we are having a class student. So let's say class student. So we have this class student. Then we have init, def, init, right? In init we have self, and then we have, let's say, name, and maybe let's say gender. So this is a class student with this thing. So you already know self dot name is equals to name, and then self dot gender is equals to gender. This is something that we know. Now, 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 I am going to make a function outside the class. So outside the class, see here, outside the class, outside the class. This function, right, right. This function will be, let's say, study, def study. So let's say def study, right? And here I will just pass something. Let's say maybe student, def study student. There will be some value, and now I am saying start dot whatever object is there, whatever object you get here. Start dot name is equals to, maybe this time I will just write Ajay, and then what I can do, return start, return start, return start. Very important to understand this. Now how I can prove this? So very easy. So let's say I am a student. So let's say student is there. So maybe I will just put student. Let's say student, and here in the place of the student I will just write some name. Maybe let's say Raj, Raj, and then I will pass the gender. Let's say male. Let's say I will pass the gender male. Very good, not a problem. Now this becomes your first student, as is equals to this. Not a problem. Now what I am going to do, I will print the ID of S. So let's say ID of S. Very good. I will print the ID of S, and then I will also pass this S in study. So let's say in study I will pass this. So once I will pass the here, now what I'm going to do, I will just make as this value, let's say as another. So I was passing Raj, but this particular function is changing this Raj to Ajay. And now let's see. So print ID of as another. So let's say print ID of as another. Let's see what happens. Another, right? See it carefully. See it carefully. Both have same ID, And now, if you just see as another, let's try to see as another. What is there as in as another? See here, this is again an object, and then that just hit the tab and see the name, you will find this is Ajay. Earlier it was Raj. So that's how you say object is mutable. Object is mutable. Address doesn't change. Address doesn't change. Is it clear, everyone? This is the thing that you have to understand. Now, enough of concept. So let's go ahead and solve few questions. So, few questions, it means little bit of mini project type of thing. So we will start with, okay. So we will start with a system. Design a system. I'll just write it here. Design a system. Design a system. Right. Right. To check. To check if a product is in the stock or not, and you want to buy it. Right. So I'll just repeat it again. Design a system. Right. Design a system. Right. To buy a product. To buy a product, or let's say design a e-commerce store. Very simple. Let's say e-commerce store. E-commerce store where you go and buy something using OOPS. Obviously you have to use OOPS, but let's try to look at this. How many of you can just do it? Right. 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 So guys, how you want to do? So you want me to solve this particular question and then give you another question to do it, or you want to try it out quickly? Whatever you guys say, I will start doing so. Quickly, guys, everyone. No one is responding. So that says first you solve. Very good. Everyone agrees to this? Very good. So let's say I will just start solving this. Not a problem. So I am going to design an e-commerce store using OOPS. The first thing, right? Using this exercise, you will get to know few things, right? Using, right? Doing this, by doing this exercise, by doing this exercise, right guys, I don't think we will be able to complete these things. So class objects, and let's say mini project, because there are a lot of idea that I want you guys to implement today. So mini project, we have 1 hour at least, and in 1 hour we are going to look at a lot of things. So by doing this mini project, you will understand few things. You will understand the power of OOPS. And this is how actually the systems are designed. So first of all, what should be the plan? What should be the execution plan, guys? What should be the execution plan? Right? What should be the execution plan? So let's say there is a e-commerce site, right? E-commerce site, right? So what could be the first thing you have to think on an e-commerce site? What are the important attribute? What are the important attribute slash data? Right? Right. Praveen is saying list of product. So can I say the name of product? Name of product. First thing. Yes or no, everyone? Quickly. Name of product. Yes. Yes. Right. Second thing. Can I say what is the price of a product? You have to think this way. So what is the price of a product? Then if it is in stock or not, you have to check this also. Right. Now on an e-commerce website, what do you see? The products are listed, and you, what do you do? What are the methods? Methods, you buy or sell. Sorry, you buy, let, right, right. You buy something, not sell actually, you buy, and once you buy, you have to restock the thing. This is very important because you are seeing from the designer perspective. You are not seeing from the user perspective. Obviously, if someone buys, then it will be have to, you will have to restock it. Yes or no, guys? Quickly, right? Right. If you buy it, you have to restock it. There should not be any doubt, right? So these are the things. These are our execution plan. Execution plan, right? Right. Execution plan, right? Very good. We know that this is the execution plan. A very basic thing. So let's try to now execute this. So first thing, I will write it here. Execution plan, execution plan, execution plan, plan. Decide, decide attributes, attributes, that is attributes slash data, name, name, stock, right? Name, stock, and price. So price. This is the first thing. Then decide method. So method, from a designer perspective, as a programmer perspective, you have two things. Someone buys it, then what will happen? And then restock. So you have to also give a buy option. You have to also restock at the back. You have to do both of the things. So let's start. So first of all, we will start by defining a class. So let's say class product. So this is a class product. So whenever you define a class, what is the first thing that you do? Everyone has to answer. What is the first thing that you do? Adeline, what is the first thing that you do? Whenever you define a class? Very good. Very good. Many of you are answering it correctly. That is constructor. So you define a constructor. Def underscore init, def underscore init, and then what is the first variable of init? Everyone, what is the first variable of init? Self. Then we will be having name, we will be having price, and then we will be having stock. Very easy, yes or no? Now you already know self.name. You will assign the variable name to the self, self.price, price. You will assign this to price, and then self.stock. You will assign to stock, right? Then what is the other method that you want to do? So def by. So def by, you will just do this. So let's say here I will just write def by pass, and then also you want to say def restock. So you want to do this as well, restock. So here I will just write pass. So this template is ready for us, right? Yes or no, everyone? These are the three things that we are going to do as of now. Just a basic thing, right? Now, see it, guys. One more thing, on any e-commerce website, you also see the information. You also see the information about the product. So for that, I will use again another magic method, that is str. So what is this str? So I'll just write str. Very important, very easy to understand. If you just Google it out, you will get to know. Whenever you print an object, whenever you print an object, whenever you print an object, str is executed. I'll show you, don't worry about that. Str is executed. Str is executed, right? So str is again a magic method, right? Magic method. Str is a magic method, right? Right, right, right. This is also a magic method. I will add to start, don't worry about that, right? Also magic method. Magic method. Now, Rajkumar is asking a very valid question. How we decide that which variable should be there in the constructor? Always remember, whenever you start coding, you have to make a execution plan. Right? Or in fact, you have to make the thing that I discussed few moments before, that you have to make a class diagram, something like that. And you have to think it, what could be there. So I thought that name of the product can be there, the stock can be there, price can be there. Simple. But now, moving ahead, the main thing here that I was discussing, whenever you print an object, str is executed. So I want to show the information of any stock. So how can you do that? So I can just make this magic method, let's say self, and here it will return. What it will return? F string. So let's say I will just show you. It will return product. What product? From where it will get the product? Very easy. Self dot. So here I have written stall. So this will be stock. See it guys, if there is any typo, please do let me know, because I am explaining also, I'm typing also. So now self dot name. So this will be your self dot name. This is the product. Then also you can just have the price. So I can just write it here, price, and this will be written as like this, self dot price. Now, further, if you want to, write it more formally, then what you can do, you can also round this number, self dot price, round it, whatever you want to do, you can just do it. Not a problem. Right. Now, this is stock, so I can just write now stock. How many stock is there? So I will just write self dot stock. So here I will just write self dot stock. Done. Now I'll just show you. So here I will just write self underscore quantity so that it will not throw any error. And then I'll show you how str works. So here I will just put it. So now this is fine, right? These are the four methods that we have to work upon. So but let's see first, what is this str? That is the first important thing. So let's say you want to make a product. So let's say you want to make a product class, sorry, object of the product. So let's say product. Inside this product, you need three things. Name. So let's say laptop, right? What is the price? So maybe let's say 23,000. And finally, let's say stock. How many stock is there? Let's say 5. Execute this. So you will get like this, minimum product, something like this. Now, if you print this, so let's say, fine, this is something you will get it. But the moment you print it, you will get something like this. Product is laptop, price is 23,000, stock is 5. So basically, print is printing the str method. Print is printing the str method. So you understood how important is this particular str method. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or no? Right? Yes or no, guys? Everyone. So now if you have understood so far, you are done, guys. If someone says you, I just told you to design an e-commerce store using OOPS, you would have been worried what to do, what to do, what to do. Just break the problem statement. I just broke the problem statement. How? First, decide the attribute and data. Second, decide the method. They started coding. That's it. Now, here, let's write this by. Right. What I can do here, I will just remove this pass because now I will write the logic here. Right. Right. If quantity, right, is greater than self dot stock, because when you will allow the people to buy, if your quantity that has been asked is greater than the stock, then only you will buy, right? So return return. Here you can just write f, again a string. So only this items available, self dot stock items available, stock items available, items available, 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 available for price. Let's say for price. So what you can do here now, for price you can write self dot price. That's it. Price. Oh, why I'm having the typos? Self dot price. Done. And once anyone has ordered, then what you will do? If someone has ordered, then what you will do? Self dot stock. You will decrease the stock. Yes or no? If someone has ordered, you will decrease the stock. So here less than. So you will just decrease it by 1. So maybe you will just write quantity. Whatever quantity has been asked for the buying. So you will decrease it. So someone is buying 5 laptop, then stock will be decreased by 5 number. You know this notation. I am assuming you know this. It means self dot stock is equals to stock minus quantity. The same way has been written like this. And finally, what you can do? Finally, what you can do? Simply write, 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 write. Uh, Price per item. I didn't understood Vipan what you mentioned it, but anyway. So here only items available for here I missed one thing. So here if quantity is greater than self dot stock, only these items available for here instead of for price it doesn't require actually. So you can just write items available, purchase filled, purchase filled, purchase filled. So because there is no any stock here, so quantity, whatever quantity has been ordered, it is greater than stock. It means only this item available, this much item available, and purchase has failed. This is the understanding. Now this is done. After that, what you can do? Return. So finally, you can return. What you can return? Very simple thing. You purchased. You purchased. What you purchased? How many quantity? You will just write. You purchased this much quantity, right? Of what? Self dot name. Self dot name. So you purchase this for self dot price. So here you can just put self dot price. Done. This is your buy. And finally restock. What should be the logic of restock? Right. Always whatever quantity has been ordered, that number of quantity should be again added to the stock. So here you can just write self dot stock is equals to plus equals to quantity. So plus equals to quantity, and finally you can simply write return f stock updated, stock updated. So stock updated, and here the current stock current stock of self dot name is 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 self dot stock. Done. You are done, guys. So this is your laptop. So this is your 5 stock. Now what you can do? You want to buy. So let's say here print. You want to buy. So product. So let's say this is your product. You want to buy. How much you want to buy? Dot buy. So let's say you want to buy maybe two. So maybe two. So let's see here. Okay. Product dot buy missing one required positional argument. Self dot quantity. Did I missed anything, guys? You purchased two product dot buy missing one required positional argument quantity. So I provided the quantity. Okay, I understood. Here I have not designed the object. A is equals to this. This is your object, right? Object 1. This I didn't have defined. So object 1. Now you can just show you here object 1. So here you will get the same thing. Now you will just use object.buy. The moment you do object1 dot buy 2, so you will see you purchased 2 laptops. Very easy. Now again you print the object, print object now. So print object 1, you will find that now in the stock only 3 laptops is there. Now what you will do? Again restock that object 1 dot restock. So what you will do? Restock. How many you want to restock? It's a 5. So fine. Stock updated. The current stock of laptop is 8. Fine. Very good. Again see object 1 dot let's say buy. So this time you want to buy. Let's say 8 is the stock. So I will just buy 10. See what will happen. Only 8 items available. Purchase failed. See, again object 1 dot restock. Again maybe you restock again more 5 laptops. Then the current stock of laptop is 13. Then again now object 1 dot buy 10. This is possible. See, you purchase laptop for 23,000. Obviously you can multiply to get it, you know, uh, you know. So here you can just multiply this quantity to get the total price, quantity into self dot price to get the Okay, this is like 10 into 23,000. Just you need to figure it out how to multiply this. But this is the understanding. So actually you can just put it here like this. Inside this. Quantity, 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 quan- quantity, quantity into self price. Done. So now if you see, you get it. You purchase 10 laptops for this many of amount. 2 lakhs 30,000. It is just multiplied by 10. Is it clear, everyone? The power of this, the power of OOPS, I will show you. This was just only for laptop. Now make it for any product, doesn't matter. Parallelly, this will be for any number of products. This is laptop, this can be speaker, this can be clothes, this can be anything. Right? Right. And what is the problem? If you didn't used OOPS here, if you didn't used OOPS, OOPS, this would have been messy, for different products, and that's why it is important to use OOPS. So for different products, what would have done? If not OOPS, you would have written different code, different, or let's say if you would have written different codes, code line wise line for different products, for different products, right? For laptop, different thing. For cloth, a different thing, something like that. But OOPS allowed you to do everything in one go, writing a generic code. So did you guys understood this? Do you have any problem in understanding this, as in how you have actually made a e-commerce type of platform using this, using OOPS? Right. Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any problem in understanding this quickly? Yes or no? Did you guys understood this? Yes or no, everyone? Quickly, everyone, I want to hear yes or no from everyone. Right. Should I raise the bar? Right. Should I raise the bar, guys? Should I raise the bar? Many of the people are saying raise the bar. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. Right. 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 So now design a cab booking system. Design a Uber. Design a cab booking system. Cab booking system. Obviously, you understand here that we are taking the name, stock, price on fly. But if you work in real world, here you would have been connected to a database. You connect to a database and always update to the database. Here we are not using database because we haven't studied it, but hopefully you are enjoying this, how actually it works. The only thing, so see here, in just using OOPS in 5 minutes, I have written such a big program. So let's assume there are 10 coders coding the same thing. Don't you think it is easy to make a big product? Yes or no? Right, right, right. It's very easy. It is just that you have to follow the principle, nothing else. So now let's say you want to design a cab booking system similar to Uber. Should I give you some hint, guys? Some action plan, execution plan? What could be the execution plan? Anyone? What could be the execution plan? What could be the execution plan here, guys? Quickly say it. Everyone, what could be the execution plan? to design a cab booking system. So a cab booking system. So let's say cab booking system. Cab booking system. So since we don't have database, can I say first in the attribute what we can have? So can I say we can have cab ID, right? Can we have driver name? This is something that we do, right? Right, cab name or cab ID. Very good. Then we can have location, right? Then is it available or not? Yes or no, guys? Is it available or not? These are the things, right? 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 Yes, Tajil. Yes. Every bigger platform that you see is not without OOPS. Is not without OOPS. And that's why I'm uh, solving these questions for you guys, right? So now, this was the information. Now, what are the other things? What could be the method, right? So one thing you can do, guys, this can have two class. Actually, this can have two class. First class will be of cab. So this cab will have this attribute. Very simple. And then second class, second class would be a cab booking system. Cab booking system. The complete interface. So here, what you can do? What is the cab available? This will be your attribute. And then what would be the method? Method would be add cab. Let's say add cab. So let's say if you are trying to add the cab, right? View available cabs, right? Available cabs, right? And maybe let's say book cab. That's it. This would be enough. Or last, if you want to put, so let's say complete ride, right? Right, right, right. Yeah, this could be the plan, right? This could be the plan. Yeah, there can be fair as well. Very good, Rajkumar. There can be fair as well. But this could be the plan, one of the basic plans. Further, if you want to enhance it more, you can also give an option. You can also give an option to the customer menu. What you want to do? Add a new cab, view available cab. Because see, you are not actually making the complete system, right? So that's why view available cab, or let's say third, book a cab, book a cab, book a cab. Let's say complete a ride, and maybe last you can have menu like exit, right? Yes, Rajkumar, you can have also cab type like auto, car, luxury car, anything, something like that, right? So guys, will you try doing this, or is it that I should also code this one as well? What do you think, guys? The plan is in front of you. As you want to try it out, guys, if you try it out, you will only learn. If you want me to do this, I can do this. I don't have any problem. Anyone? Rajkumar says give it as assignment. Other people? Yes, as an assignment. Guys, it doesn't work as an assignment. Please try start doing this. I have other assignment. I will give you as assignment. So let's start, guys. Design a cab booking system. So first I will make one class. So guys, everyone start coding, right? Everyone start coding, right? So don't see my code. Maybe if you want to see the code, please see it. So I will make a class cab, right? So first thing, if you remember, I have to make a init. Then what I can do, the first variable is self. Then after the self, you have cab ID. Then we have, let's say, driver name, right? Then we have, let's say, location, location, location. and then finally we have is available. So is available. Let's do one more thing. Available by default, make every app available. Let's say true. Right, right. Now else, this is your init method. This is your init method. Right. Now self.cab id is equals to cab id. See, see how easy it is to be done. Self.driver name is equals to driver name. So then again self.location is equals to location, 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 location. Then we have self.isAvailable is equals to is available. Done. And it is done. Now, in this, you also want to show. You also want to show. Right? What do you want to show? If something is available or not. So what you will do? Def, def underscore underscore str. So what does str method do? You already know that if you pass this str method, it will give you the information about the things that you are looking for. It is a cap. So availability. So let's say availability. When you will get to know if it is available or not? Available if self dot available is true. If self dot is available. If self dot is available. Otherwise, else it will be not available. Done. Not available. Not available. This is understanding. Now, if it is available, then what you can do? If it is available, right, what you can do? So you can just pass the status if it is available or not. How to pass the status? Right, right, right. So you can just write here return, return. What do you want to return? F. So you want to return everything. Cab ID is, cab ID is. Provide the self.cab ID, self.cab ID. Now, this is the cab ID, right? The driver name, the driver name, self dot driver name, driver name. Then we have self dot the location, the location, at the location, at the location, the location. Then what you can write? Self dot location, self dot location. And then finally, right, self dot location. And finally, I can just simply write is available or not. So is available or not. So here I will just write is self dot, or let's say availability, availability, availability. Done, done. See, this is your class tab. Now what you have to do? You have to define now the booking system. So how to define a cab booking system? How to make a class of cab booking system? Let's see that as well. So this was about the cab information. Very good. This was about the cab information. Right. So this was about the cab information. Now what I can do? Class cab booking system. Cab booking system. Now in this case, what you can do? First init, def init, right? Init, def init. So here I will just pass self, self, and here I can just write self dot cabs. Self dot cabs is equals to this. This is the list to hold all cabs in the system. So I will just write to hold all the cabs. To hold all the cabs in the system. Now else, after that, what you can do? You want some menu, right? Some menu, right? Because we had discussed that we want to also give a option what to do to the users, right? So you want to have a menu, right? So how can you get a menu? Very simple. Again, define a menu. Very easy. Menu and self. So this is the menu and self. What you can do? While true, you can take an input. So user choice is equals to input. Already you have seen this earlier as well. So user choice, and this you can just put a doc string. In the doc string, you will write welcome to the cab booking system. Cab booking system. And now here you can write the option. Please, please select the option. Select the option. Please select the option. What are the options? First, maybe let's say add a new cab. Second, what could be the possible option, guys? Do you remember? Add a new cab. Second thing, let's say view available cab. View available cabs. View available cabs. Then third thing, right? Book a cab. So let's say book a cab. And finally, fourth thing will be complete a ride. Complete a ride. And fifth, exit. So fifth, exit. Done. And then you will be asking, what is your choice, man? What is your choice? Very simple. Now what I am going to do, if let's say here, if user choice, so let's say this is your user choice, this is while true. So inside this, if 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 user choice is equals to 1, what you will do? If user choice is equals to 1, then you will call add cab. So what will be add cab? Add cab will be actually a method now inside this add cab. This is how you design a system. If user choice is equals to 2, so in that case, what will you do? So let's say here elif. So elif user choice is equals to 2, then you will just write view available caps. View available caps. So view available caps. Available. So here add caps, instead of add caps, just write cabs, cabs, and here you can just write view available caps. Then if user choice is 3, what will you do? So if user choice is 3, then what you can do? Elif. Instead of view available cabs, you will now write book cab. So book a cab. So let's say here, I will just write first view available cabs. So let's say make it here def view available cabs self and then write pass. Now here in this case, if your choice is 3, then instead of view available cabs, you can just write now book cabs. Now what you can do? You can just again make another method, that is book cabs. So here I will just write now def book cab self and then pass. Actually, grammatically correct will be book cab. So I'll just write it here book cab. Now, finally, if elif is choice is 4, so you can just write choice is 4. Then what you can do here? Choice is 4. Instead of book cab, you can just write complete ride. So complete ride. So complete ride. So now I will just use this complete ride. So here I can just put it complete ride. So here I will make another method, that is def complete ride self. So I'll just write complete ride self and then pass. And finally, if you have the user choice is equals to 5, so in that case, what will happen? So if user choice here, elif user choice is equals to 5, then you should just do, you can simply write print thank you, something like that. Print thank you, thank you, thank you for using the cab system. Thank you. Thanks for using cab booking system. Cab booking system. 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 Goodbye. Goodbye. Done. And finally, if someone gives any other option else, you can just print invalid option. Invalid option. Please provide a valid option. Otherwise, 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 Thanos will kill you. Very simple. That's so you have actually made a template for the cab booking system. Obviously, now you have to start coding in each of these methods, whatever it is. So add cab, book cab, available cab. So you have to start coding in that. If you guys want me to code, I can code that as well. It will take like good amount of time, but I want you guys. So if you just execute this, so let's say this you executed. Now let's say you make an cab booking system, right? So let's say cab booking system, an object. So let's say cab booking system. So here this is an object. Let's say C1 is equals to this. Now you can just see C1 dot here add cab, book cab, cabs, complete ride, menu, view available cabs. So here let's say view available cabs. Now see what happens in the view available cabs. Nothing, because everything is just passing. Right. Right. So this is the understanding. So maybe let's say C1 dot menu. If you just call this, what you will get? See here, you will get welcome to the book cab booking system. And now you can just add a new cab, view available cab, book a cab, complete a ride or exit. So the moment you write complete a ride, so here you will just say, since we are not doing anything here, that's why again you get the same option. It is just that now you have to write the logic of add cabs. You have to write the logic of view available cabs, book cab, complete ride. So you have to write this whole method. Did you guys understood to some extent how OOPS is so powerful that is used everywhere? Did you guys slept? Did you guys slept it? Slept or what? Hmm. Right? Okay, okay. So did you guys understood to some extent? Yes or no? Right. So in the next class, Praveen is saying we are stunned. Don't get stunned, Praveen. There will be a lot of such mini projects. Actually, this is not a mini project. This is actually a full-fledged project. But I just wanted to make sure that because this is a start, right? Now this I will make more advanced, more advanced, more advanced slowly. We can have exceptional handling here. We can add logging here when we will be studying in later classes. Right, right. Sajid says we got basic idea. Please try to again see the recording. Try to again see, you know, uh, the code, and maybe you will again start understanding. This was some basics. This is at an higher level, some other, actually another level, no, another level. So this was the second thing. I have uh, two more mini projects. So actually we will be having four mini projects here. Design a fitness tracker. Fitness tracker. Open-ended, please do it. Design a ATM. Design a ATM. Please, you have to do it. I don't know how will you do this. And another, one more example. Design a movie theater booking system. Design a book my show. Design a movie ticket booking system. Movie ticket booking system. So this is the way you guys will improve your knowledge, or you will improve your understanding. Just please try it out, guys. This is not going to be tough. Just you have to look after this and try to figure it out how to be done. Should I give you one more thing? Should I give you one more thing? Everyone is saying yes. Right, right. Okay. So design a library management system. Design a library management system. Let's see how many of you do. Design a library management system, or yeah, or let's say I will give you other question also. Design a mhm. Let it be. Let it be this. This one let it be. This will be a part of the assignment. These are the homeworks. uh, Yes, Ajay. There is to some extent, right. This is the way you work in corporate. This is the way you work in corporate. This is the way you design or you write a code in corporate or in very short. Every big project in corporate is based out of OOPS. You will not see the functional programming paradigm. They will always use OOPS concept. No, I don't use Jupyter Notebook. I use VS Code. So, guys, how did you find today's lecture? Did you guys enjoy it? Do you have any questions? So that is awesome. What other people? Santanu says, sir, my doubt. Please go ahead, Santanu. What do you want to ask? अब तो मैं भूल भी गया. Guys, the level of study that we are doing, right? It is the, you know, at most the highest level. You will not find this type of things on any YouTube channel also. Just keep practicing, keep doing thing. One day you will do wonders. Just remember that day that I had told you guys. So first of all, just do the homework, write the logic. Otherwise, obviously, I will write the logic, but please try to write the logic. Santanu, go ahead and ask the question. In next class, we will cover the OOPS because all of the topics are more associated with this polymorphism, encapsulation, and all of those things. So class student def reading in OOPS function is called method. Print student is reading. Ram dot reading. Ram dot reading student dot takes zero position argument, but one was given because there was no any self. Santan, see the text that you have provided. There is no any self. If you write self in that, it will not throw any error. Right. Right. It will not throw any error. Right. So what is the question? What is your question? What is the question there? Maybe I have to see the message of yours. So where is your message? Oh, which one argument? Okay. By default, it considers that self is the argument. Right. Self is the argument. Santan. I'll just show you. Don't worry about that. So here it is. So I guess this is the question. Santanu, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So now, if you just execute this, right? Ram is equals to student, Ram dot reading here, Ram dot reading, it will give you an error. The student reading takes zero positional argument, but one was given. By default, whenever you access a method, right? By default, whenever you access a method object, the object itself is one of the argument, which is actually recognized as a self. I will repeat it again. Whenever you access a method, by default, object itself goes here as an argument. That's why one was given, but here It is not taking the self. So that's why the moment you write self, now you execute, it works well. Did you understood? Right? Yes or no? Very good. Anyone else has any questions, guys? Guys, I don't know if we are late in the course or not, but I am planning to complete Python and Python for data science. That is Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn with the Python project, right, in next 1 month. That is my plan. Right. Let's see if we are able to do this or not. And then we will move to SQL and then statistics and machine learning and then deep learning NLP. So that would be the idea. Right. Right. But anyway, so that would be all, guys, for today's class. So advanced concepts in OOPS-1. Right. Oh, yeah, interview questions. A lot of interview questions. Today, there is a lot of interview questions. I have not written anything here. So maybe I will just put interview questions in the here itself. There's a lot of interview questions for today's class. Lot of interview questions. First, what is self? Very important. What is self? What is a constructor? What is a constructor? Right, right. How objects are stored? How objects are stored? What is pass by reference? What is pass by reference? Very, very important, guys. These questions are very important. And actually, this is also used by backend developer or a software developer as well. What is pass by reference? What is what is a magic method? Obviously, this magic method we will discuss at a later stage, but it's what is a magic method? What is a underscore underscore str method do? Method do. One question can be design a student ERP system. Right? The way we designed here system, the product and all, you have to design the same way a student ERP system. Right? What is object and class? Right, right, right. Other thing, we have studied a lot of things actually today. What is a class diagram? Very important. That can be also asked in the interview. So this would be reference variable. Yes, that is already I have mentioned. What is pass by reference? They will ask this there. Tushar says, what is ERP? Ever have you logged into your admission portal? That is ERP. Just write it here, ERP portal. ERP portal. So there are a lot of ERP portal whenever you want to access something from at the backend. That's it. Or let's say learning management system portal, anything. LMS portal. LMS portal. Portal. Anyone else has any other questions? Did you enjoy the lecture? Guys, a few of the videos I will be also uploading on YouTube, right? So you can revise these things from the YouTube as well, right? So that is the thing. But yeah, so I will just move ahead and stop recording.